guys, thank you for joining me in today's video. I do apologize. I know it's been quite some time since I've posted a video on my channel. I think it's been about 3 weeks. Most of it is because I was under the weather and then I did have family come visit, which was so nice. So I want to share with you guys what I've been up to and a little bit about myself, which is why I decided to do a get ready with me. Now, I did pull out a full face of makeup. Honestly, most of the stuff is just kind of random stuff that is a little bit newer in my collection, and because I've been on a little hiatus, I have not shown you guys any of this stuff. So before we get into applying the makeup, if you are new to my channel, hello and welcome. I am Suzana and I love to talk about makeup. This is definitely a beauty channel and I love to share my opinions and thoughts on new makeup, old makeup, mostly luxury makeup, some drugstore products as well. And if this is something that interests you, please consider subscribing to my channel. I do not have a set schedule, but I always do post in the mornings and I do try to squeeze in 2 to 3 videos a week. So let's just go ahead and start doing lip face. So for today's primer, I'm actually going to use a new primer today. And I got this one through Influencer. So Influencer is like a company that you can sign up for. Anybody can sign up for this. And they'll send you full-size products to review. So like for reviewing purposes. So you have to be very specific when you're using these products, that you give them the credit for sending you this and you follow the steps that they ask you to follow when receiving the product. So I was stoked when I got the email that I would be getting the new Tatcha primer. This is the Liquid Silk Canvas. Now, I have it under here. I have the original. This is just called the Silk Canvas and I really like this. The only thing with this one is I have to be very careful with how I apply it onto my skin because if I over apply, it starts to pile up a little bit. But overall, that primer is really good. So I was excited when I saw this, and it still even has like the little thing here. I need to start testing this out. I honestly have not really been wearing much makeup lately. And so I got this in almost 2 weeks ago and I have not even used it yet. Okay, it just says here to apply 1 pump to skin after your SPF, but before your makeup. So let's see a pump of this. And it has that same light pink color the original product has. Same scent as well. So let's see, start applying this. Ooh. Okay, so it says here, it smooths skin for makeup, helps prevent breakouts. Hello. Instant blurs, even skin tones, locks moisture in, and diminishes the look of pores and fine lines. So anyway, I think everything else, I'm not really going to be talking about the products very much, but I will have it listed down below what I'm using. Otherwise, this video is going to be extremely long, and I'm kind of trying to avoid that. So where have I been? Alright, so honestly, yeah, I ended up getting a really bad cold. I had a horrible like sinus and congestion going on, and I could not do anything. You know, just kind of one of those colds that the cold itself wasn't that bad. It was just more the sinus headache that I was having. Then my husband ended up going to Chicago and I didn't go with him because he booked last minute and I was already not feeling well. So he went off and I thought, okay, by the weekend I should be feeling better. I'm gonna take advantage of the fact that I'm home alone. I didn't really have any plans. So I had even thought, oh, I'm gonna go ahead and film a few videos, kind of get a little jump start for the week. And yeah, so I had all these plans, but I did absolutely nothing. That is when my cold actually got worse. And then so he literally only went for the weekend, like he was gone that Saturday. No, he left the Friday and came back Monday morning. And yeah, I ended up developing like cabin fever. It was so bad. Like that was like the suckiest weekend ever. Anyway, so in case you guys don't know, I live in Utah, but we are not from here. We are from Chicago. That is where we're born and raised. We actually moved out here. Actually, it's gonna be 4 years in June. And I know my dark circles are like out of this world. And I honestly never really thought I would be one of those people that would move away from my family and my friends. I was just, I don't know. I mean, I'm just so close, especially with my family. I'm like so close to everybody that I just never really saw myself doing that. Like my husband and I will talk about it here and there, and for some reason we would always say Austin, Texas, but I've never even been to Texas. I have no idea. Like I don't know, it was just kind of, we would just entertain that idea. It was nothing we actually thought we would do. But then there was this great opportunity for him as far as work out here, so that's when we decided to make the move. And honestly, during that time, I think it's something that I kind of unknowingly really needed. It's really helped me kind of more understand myself a little bit more, but I will say that it is very lonely out here. So I have a job here, I mean, I work, I talk to the people at work, but it's just not the same. I don't really have many friends out here. There is a family that kind of took us in, so they invite us to things and stuff. We invite them as well, but it's not my family. Like, I want to be with my family, and so that's where it gets a little bit more difficult. And I have seen a few YouTubers talk about one of the reasons why they started a channel was because they moved also out of state or even to a different country, and they were lonely. And so this platform has allowed them to, you know, to do what they love and connect with people that have the same interests. And so I actually started a channel about 3 years ago, and that was shortly after we moved out here, because I didn't have a job at first, because we had thought, okay, we're gonna give it about a year and see how we like it in Utah. I had never been out here before, so I didn't know how it was gonna be for us. And so I was like, you know, I'm just gonna take a year off and be a lazy ass, because really I wasn't doing much. And after about a year is when we decided to just stay here a little bit longer. Like, we still don't know if this is going to be our permanent home or not, but overall we are happy out here, with the exception, of course, of missing everybody. So during that first year, because I was bored out of my mind, I had watched possibly all of the Netflix shows that existed. So, and I just went ahead and started my YouTube channel. But maybe about 5 months in, probably even less, I started applying for jobs. I was just applying for where I'm working right now, and I was just looking at positions that I know I qualify for, because that is the company I wanted to work for. So I ended up getting in. It really didn't take very long. And once I started working, I completely stopped doing YouTube videos. And then shortly after that, my nephew moved out here, and so he lived with us for a little bit. And I could not like bring myself, all these blemishes, to film with him there. Cause I mean, this is kind of awkward to do, honestly. So I just stopped filming, and it was something I always wanted to get back into because I had really enjoyed it, but I just didn't have the space. But now that we've moved and my nephew has his own place, I decided to go ahead and get back on creating videos, and I'm so happy I'm doing it. This has really helped me out a lot. So since we moved out here, we've had several family members come and visit us, a few friends, so it's been really nice. I love to host. I love having people over. Even before, like when we lived in Chicago, I just loved having people over, even if I was just making something to eat or just for a few drinks. It's always kind of been my thing. Like, I feel like I'm a pretty good hostess. I make it a point to make people feel comfortable in my space, especially if people are taking vacation time, spending the money to come out here to visit us. Like, I mean, to me, it means so much. And so I want everybody to have a good time. So one of my sisters, her boyfriend, her son, and another sister of mine came down to Utah. So they actually drove down here, and we had asked them what they wanted to do. We have several national parks here, in case you guys don't know. And I was so out of the loop when it came to national park. I mean, I had heard of them, but I really didn't know much about it. It's not something I really thought I would appreciate until we made the move out here, that we started exploring the state more and just learning how beautiful it is. It's so breathtaking. Being near the mountains here has just really opened my eyes in so many different ways. Like, I don't really want to get into it because I get so emotional about like the most random things sometimes, you guys. It's I don't know why I do, but I do. So we had asked them what they wanted to do when they came out here. My brother-in-law, my nephew, wanted to go skiing. That I have yet to do. I'm a little chicken shit, so I don't know if I ever will. But besides that, my brother-in-law also wanted to go to Canyonland. So we told them, since they were driving out here, it would be easier if we met up in Moab. So that's what we did, and this is the third year in a row that we go to Moab, and I love it out there. So there's Canyonlands and then there's the Arches. So we ended up renting an Airbnb for the first night. And then in one day we did both of the parks. And let me tell you, that was exhausting, but also very fulfilling. There was a lot of hiking going on. Now, if you've been to Arches, Arches has more hikes. Now, the bigger hike is the one for the Delicate Arch. And I'll go ahead and insert some pictures. So to get to the Delicate Arch, you have to do a 1.5 mile hike. 1.5 miles is not long, but this hike is a little bit strenuous, especially, or more so I should say, for us folks that are not very active. I hate to admit that, but it is, it just is. Like I am. And so it's a little bit difficult for me, but it wasn't as hard as it was on me the first time that we went. So about 3 years ago, I went with my sister niece. Sister niece because she's actually my niece, but we grew up like sisters. We're only 6 months apart. So a lot of times actually that if I'm mentioning a sister, I'm talking about my sister niece. That's really not my sister. Anyway, so she came about 3 years. She's actually been here a few times already. But when she came 3 years ago, we went and we did that hike. It was in April, so the weather was a little bit warmer. So that hike was a little bit more difficult because the sun out here beams right on you. This time around, we did it earlier in the day. It was a little bit cooler outside, but honestly, the weather was just perfect to be in Moab. It was still a little challenging, but it was a lot more doable for me. I will say though, I did not walk to the actual Delicate Arch. Like we did the hike, and then once you kind of make this turn is when you see it. And then there's these really big rocks where you kind of just take a break and you just admire the view. I mean, all that work to get to a Delicate Arch, you kind of want to, you want to take it all in. So I pretty much just sat there this time. My sisters went ahead and they went to go take pictures. My husband and I stood back. And the reason being is that the first time I went, I made the walk to the Delicate Arch, but on the way back, I ended up having this full-blown panic attack. When you're walking to it, it's slanted, and I felt like I was just gonna fall and die. I thought it was gonna be the end of me. So I stood on the rocks. So then that Saturday and Sunday is when my brother-in-law and my nephew went skiing. My sisters and I pretty much just stayed here at the house all day Saturday. We went out for dinner, and it was a pretty late dinner actually, but it was nice to spend some time with them. I was still recovering from those hikes, so I needed to rest, and I was so happy that they didn't want to do anything on Saturday either. So we just stood home, watched some TV, movies, and snacked like all day, and it was just really nice. So actually my sisters had already been here, but they had not been here during the winter time, and it ended up snowing on Sunday, most of the day actually. And so they got to see how beautiful the snowfall is out here, because it is very different as back home in Chicago. By the way, right now I'm using this palette, and I got this because Lisa Does Makeup was talking about this on her Instagram story, how this is like her go-to products when she goes out, like her glam look. I was like, what? So I ordered it, oops. And it comes with a bronzer, a highlighter, so it's this bronzer, the highlighter duo, and a blush. You also get a lip liner and a lip gloss. It is more of an opaque lip gloss. The lip products I wasn't super crazy about, but the face products are actually really nice. So just in case you guys are wondering, that is what I'm using. And then these are also safe for the eyes, but I'm gonna use something else for my eyes. So when I was getting the house ready for my sisters to come visit, I was kind of stressed out because, so I was talking to my sister niece about this, and I was like, oh my gosh, like I have the two worst people to come visit me at the same time. Not because I have any, I mean, they're my sisters, I love them. But one of them is a super clean freak. I mean, it's like OCD level. It's ridiculous. So it's always like this pressure. Even back when I had my apartment in Chicago, like it was always a pressure when I knew she was gonna come over that everything had to be immaculate. Then my other sister, that came is like an organized freak. Like for her, everything has to have a home. Like you shouldn't have things out. Everything, the cabinets should all be very organized. Your refrigerator, your closets. She is extremely organized. Honestly, I feel like she should make it her profession because she would do an amazing job for other people. But those of us, like, I actually feel like I'm a pretty organized person, but I am not like to the level that she is. I just felt a lot of pressure with them coming out here. So for sure, actually that weekend, well, I'm telling you guys, that weekend that my husband was out of town, I planned to be very productive, but I wasn't able to at all. So after he came back, I mean, luckily he's very helpful, so he did a lot of it as well. So that was that, and they actually left on Monday. Today that I'm filming this is on a Saturday, so I know I've had like all week where I could have started filming as well, but then honestly I was kind of still in recovery mode, and when they left, like the house felt so empty. I mean, we had an additional 4 people here. It was nice having somebody all over the house, like having people all over the house, and when they left it was like it felt really empty. Which is funny because going back to my sister niece, she lives in New York City. So she moved out there, I think they're going on 3 years. And, well, being that she lives in New York City especially, she has a lot of people go visit her, like friends and family have gone to visit her as well. And she's in a 1-bedroom apartment. I mean, it is New York City, so that's kind of how it is. And I think she's like, oh, that she kind of feels the same way when she has people visit and then they leave. Like she feels the apartment empty. So being in this house, I definitely really felt it. By the way, I'm finally using these brushes. You guys, I really have not been doing my makeup very much. Pretty much whatever I took with me to Moab is all I've been using, oh my gosh, for like a week and a half. So I got these new, actually, well, this one's new too. This is one of the Syrah eye brushes, but I finally got the bundle of the Sonia G eye brushes. The palette is this one from Give Me Glow, is the Vintage Rose. I got this one. It's funny because some of these things are inspired by other YouTubers. So this one was from Lisa Does Makeup. This one from Mel Thompson. I think I got this one after she did her eyeshadow declutter. I went ahead and added more eyeshadow palettes to my collection. But she mentioned this, and I have heard a few people talk about this brand, so I wanted to give it a try. And so here we are. Yeah, the Vintage Rose. What else? Oh, I think I've talked about this already. Oh, no. The lip liner I'm going to use, this one's from Lisa D1. She totally convinced me to get that one, so I'll show you guys when we get to that point. So I guess just to talk a little bit about myself, this feels like extra weird to just divulge information that people aren't even asking about, but I mean, here we are. This is a very bright bubblegum pink eyeshadow. Whew. Okay, I mean, pretty much just how it looks on the pan is how it looks on the eyes. So I've been married for 8 years. It'll be 9 in June. And my husband and I don't have any kids. Right now we're happy with our 2 dogs. I have Bruno, who is my baby. Like I mean, he acts like my baby. He loves me to kind of swaddle him, and I just love him. So we've had him for, it's gonna go on to 8 years because we actually got him about a week or 2 before our 1-year anniversary. And he is a miniature pinscher and a Yorkie mix. And I mean, he's a little fireball. Like he's kind of calmed down now, but he's had all this energy. People would always be like, because I am so like very chill, whereas he's like the total opposite. And I feel like people would always comment how funny it was that I ended up with a dog like that. And yeah, I mean, it's true. My husband's pretty much the same way as I am. We're super homebodies. Like we like to go out and stuff, but we also very much enjoy just staying in. So, so that's Bruno. And then about a year ago, I was on Instagram just, scrolling. So I came across the Humane of Society of Utah. And they had this precious little Chihuahua dog. I never really pictured myself with a Chihuahua. I've always liked bigger dogs. Bruno was the smallest I thought I would ever get. And really the only reason why we got him We had already settled on getting a smaller dog is because our apartment in Chicago was relatively small. So we're like, okay, it's gonna be kind of odd to have a big dog in such a small apartment. So we had already decided, okay, it's gonna have to be a small dog. But I had always said, if we get another one, I want a bigger dog. And so I'm on Instagram and I see that they post this cute little guy that needed a home. So his name was Buddy. And I was like, oh my gosh, he's got that same look that Bruno does. Like Bruno is a very, like he's got a lot of character. I feel like he kind of talks to you like in his own way. Like he lets you know exactly what he wants. And I don't know. I mean, it could be just the fact that he's my dog and I feel like he's special, but he's a special dog. Like he really is. And he has just this look of alertness all the time. So when I came across this picture of Buddy, I was like, oh my gosh, he reminds me of Bruno. And so I sent it to my husband who was at work. And he's like, oh, I should go check him out after work. So I was like, yeah, you should. But I kind of didn't really take him all that serious. And the next thing I know, he's there sending me pictures of Buddy. And Buddy is just kind of like in the corner. He looks like to be just a very timid, quiet little dog. And so they let my husband take him out for a little walk around there and stuff. And then he's like, so should I get him? And at that point, like I always think about like the worst case scenario of things, which is a gift I wish I didn't have. I hate being like that. But anyway, I mean, sometimes it gets us to good things because now we got Buddy. So I was like, well, you have to get him now because who knows who else is going to end up picking him up. What if he ends up in a really horrible home or this or this or that? So I'm over here thinking like the worst. You went to go see him. Like, what are you going to say? Oh, he's not up to your standards? I don't know. I was just like, you have to get him now. You have to. So he came home from work that day with a new dog. And that is how we got who we renamed Brody. Now, the reason why I renamed him Brody is because, like I said, I always wanted a big dog. And I always pictured myself with a big dog named Brody. And when we got this little guy, we're like, oh, well, we can keep Buddy. But then this little fella escaped on me one day. And like, even until now, like, he doesn't really listen. Like, if he wanders off, he's not the type to come back. Whereas if Bruno goes off, even, like, he kind of knows, okay, I shouldn't be going this far. But if we call out his name, he'll run right back. Unless he sees another dog, then that's a totally different story. But Brody will not listen to you. So I'm home alone. More than likely I was trying to grab a package from like Sephora or something that the delivery guy left in the front. So, cause he is a smaller dog, he just managed to kind of like wiggle himself out. I could not get him to come back. And the whole time, so I live like in a cul-de-sac. So I'm walking around, he's going into like random people's backyards. I was so afraid I was not going to be able to find him. So I felt like an idiot yelling out, Buddy, 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 come back. I don't know. I felt like an idiot. So I was like, no, we're changing his name to Brody. I feel like Brody is more of a stern name. And so it stuck. I mean, he knows that's his name now. I mean, he still doesn't listen or anything, but I don't feel as dumb calling out Brody as I did Buddy. So that's the story of my doggies. Is this just a topper? Oh, that's so pretty. No, it's not. Okay. Alright, let me try to finish this makeup because I feel like I don't normally talk very much and I just feel like I was such a chatty box. Is that a thing? Chatty box? Chatty bird? I don't know. My eyes are looking red. These are nice shadows. They had another one, like I think it was called Grunge, like a grunge palette that I had in my cart, but then I was like, okay, so you roll. Like I had never tried anything from this brand. So I just convinced myself to only pick up this one. And you know what? I'm happy with my choice, but now I do wish I had gotten that other grunge one. New makeup releases. So there are quite a few things that I am interested in getting. But I've got to say, right now, I feel like it's the calm before the storm when it comes to makeup releases. Right now, there isn't very much. I am going to start a new So I'm a little bit afraid to say this because I am afraid of like committing to specific like videos, but I have been thinking that I want to do, okay, because look, the 2 videos per week that I always look forward to are the Friday haul videos from Lisa D1. Love them. And I'm also obsessed with Taro Baby's Saturday hauls. Those 2 I just have to watch every week. So I thought, you know, maybe I can kind of do something similar to that since it's like those are my main like type of videos that I like to watch. So I'm thinking about doing a What's New Wednesday. Now I haven't looked, maybe that something like that already exists, but I figure like I can share with you guys like the new makeup that I've gotten within like the last week or so and kind of give you mini reviews if I've already used them or at least some swatches. I think I'll enjoy doing that. So What's New Wednesday. So I'm gonna start that series this Wednesday. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about that. Also, if you have any like video ideas that you would like me to film, also feel free to share that down below. So I just went ahead and finished doing my makeup off camera. I added some eyeliner, mascara, lip liner, and a lipstick. I'll make sure to have everything listed in the description box below in case you guys are interested. But I did want to point out the lip liner I used under the lipstick because I did say that I purchased this because of a YouTuber. So I got this one under the recommendation of Lisa D1. I feel like I've mentioned her already a few times in today's video. And the lip liner is from MAC Cosmetics. It is in the shade Spice. And so she mentioned in one of her most like recent videos that every woman should have this shade in their collection. So I had to pick it up. I mean, did I have a choice? I don't think so. Alright guys, that is it as far as today's video. I really hope you enjoyed this. I'm sorry if I am a little bit rusty. Also, I don't typically do these type of videos. So if you did enjoy it, please make sure to give me a thumbs up. I really do appreciate that very much. And if you have not yet, do not forget to subscribe so you do not miss out on any of my future videos. Thank you so much for spending some time with me today. Until next time.